What's up guys, today I'm going to show you how to get better at scrims, tournaments, arena, pretty much everything that fits in the competitive category. I know I've made one of these about every season, but the meta keeps changing and a lot of stuff keeps changing to where most of those videos are almost irrelevant. Anyways, let's get into it. First tip I got for you is your landing spot. Your landing spot decides your game one way or another. Whether that is your loot, your kills, your mat, and even your zone rotation. You can choose three ways: a POI, a henchman spot like the Shark or Agency, or a lonesome spot that barely gets contested. Here's some pros and cons of each of those landing spots. First one is a POI. Next is a henchman base. The pros are a guaranteed launch pad out of the supply drop there in the vault. You get very great loot. You'll have a lot of heals, most likely some kills, and almost all of the rotations out of those henchman bases have a lot of just like every single mat. Some cons though are you'll have a way higher chance of dying off spawn. Unless it's Agency, the zone will pull far 75% of the time. And it's a rough rotation out no matter which spot you land. Lastly, the pros and cons of landing in a lonesome spot. Some pros are all of the loot is yours. You can get a lot of third-party kills just out of your rotation. And depending on where you land, your loot is just about average all the time. Some cons though is zone could pull very far. Obviously this depends on where you land, but most lonesome bases are just kind of in the outstretch of the map. You don't get any kills for free points. You can get contested and die without a gun way easier than any other spot you land. And there's always a chance where you can get very, very bad loot. Your confidence decides where you land, so let's talk about that now. If you aren't confident, that is the main reason that you aren't performing well, no matter how good you are and no matter how bad you are. Confidence is key with anything you do in life. Surprisingly enough, even Fortnite. Confidence can give someone the advantage over another player just because they feel like they can destroy you. Now back to when I said your confidence level decides where you land. If you're feeling confident, land a henchman base or a POI. If you're feeling kind of down, not very confident, you kind of feel like you're a horrible player, go in a lonesome place, try not to take any fights. Play at your confidence level. If you are asking right now, how can I get my confidence up? Confidence is gained by performing well and playing at your highest level. Make sure that you are taking an hour before a tournament or an arena session to warm up to gain your confidence. Then, don't play scared in your first game of a tournament. Your first game is meant to W key and get in people's boxes, so do it. When you start winning those fights, you will gain your confidence and start performing very well. My next tip is being smart with zones. I'm considering making another video just of how to understand zones. Let me know if you guys want that. But here's like a short summarized version of zones. Every zone in a tight scrim game matters, first to last. The zone tells your whole game how it will go. In early game, if you are getting a lot of zones, try to stay in the middle or on the weak side of zone. This is if you want to play passive and you really want to make an endgame. If you aren't getting any zones, try rotating up or down on the map so you can get as less mid-game fights as possible. In endgame zones, know which zone is which. This is half and half, this is moving. That's really the only two zones that you need to know. In half and half zone, the high ground player or team gets decided. If you get this zone and you are for sure high ground, spray or RPG the opposite high ground to show the player that they aren't taking high ground against you. If you are on low/mid ground, know when to rotate. If you are on the far side of half and half, you should rotate when the zone starts to close or when you see a lot of other players rotating. If you're the only player rotating, this will get you in trouble and heavily sprayed. If you are close to half and half zone and on low ground or mid ground, tunnel or free rotate early. This can allow you to get picks on people rotating in. On moving zone, if you don't have a launch pad and you don't get zone, you have to tunnel with saving as much mats as possible. This is where the Stark tunnel becomes useful. I really hope that made sense. Like I said, let me know if you guys want a video on that. on to the next tip. My next tip is strong mentality. If you're feeling tilted or angry, don't play. It's simple. Take a break. You'll play way worse than you normally would. And it's just never a good time. Now, if you're struggling with keeping a good mental state and taking breaks is becoming way too common, I'll tell you how to improve your mental side. Instead of saying how lucky that guy that killed you just got, think about what you did wrong and how you can improve. This works because you're thinking of something else than being frustrated, but you also improve at the same time. Here's a video talking all about what I just said. It goes way more in depth. This link will be in the description. On to the next tip. My next tip is practice. With anything you do in life, practice makes perfect. I'm pretty sure we all knew that. Make playing arena part of your everyday routine that you do on Fortnite. If you feel like you are good enough that arena is too easy, try playing some custom scrims. Also, play all of the tournaments you can. The reason that pros keep their composure in fights, and they aren't all shaky, is because they have been in a similar fight a bunch of times. Playing in tournaments also allows you to play against people that are your exact skill level. Maybe not for the first few games, but especially when it gets to the last 5, it's really good practice. My last tip is something that I'll say in every tips video. Watch pros play. Take some time in your day and watch your favorite pro play in some scrims. If anyone knows what they are doing, it's them. Analyze their decision making and implement their gameplay into yours. This can help anyone get better at anything. Say you are trying to work on your ground ball in baseball. If you watch your favorite major league players field a ground ball, learn what they do, and implement it into your form, you'll be a better baseball player. That's all I had in this video. Shout out to everybody using code ofDylan in the item shop. I really appreciate that. Sorry for not uploading. My internet is acting up right now, and it's really hard to try to do anything. Appreciate the support, and see ya.